Alright, so this video, let's take a look at deriving the quadratic formula. Alright, so we know the quadratic equation is going to be in this form: ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And to derive the quadratic formula, all we're going to do is complete the square on this function here. So remember, in order to complete the square, whatever number is in front of x squared has to be a 1. So the first thing we're going to need to do is divide everything by a to get the a out from in front of the x squared term. So that's going to leave us with x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equals 0. Okay. And then remember, to complete the square, we take the constant term, which is the c over a, and we move it to the other side. So we're going to subtract c over a to both sides. And that leaves us with x squared plus b over ax, and then we leave us a space here, equals negative c over a. Alright, next, remember, the number in front of x, we half it and then square it. So let's come over here and half this and then square it. So if I half b over a, I'm going to do 1/2 times b over a, which that's going to give me b over 2a. And then I need to square this term. And so I square each term in the parentheses. So that's b squared, and then 2 squared is 4, and then a squared is a squared. Alright, and so now we add b squared over 4a squared, and so that means since we add it to this side, we have to also add it to this side. Okay. Alright, now this side over here factors. Okay, the left hand side is in this form: ax squared plus 2, or a squared plus 2ab plus b squared is a plus b squared. So this is going to factor. Okay, so that's going to be x plus, and then this term is the square root of this term, so that's b over 2a. Okay, now we need to combine this. So I'm going to get a common denominator of 4a squared. Okay, so for this denominator, I need to multiply 4a to get the common denominator. Okay, so 4a times c is minus 4ac. And this, well, that is the common denominator, so this is b squared. Alright, now we combine the fractions over here on the right side. So that's going to give me b squared minus 4ac all over the common denominator. Alright, so now we're going to use the square root property. So I square root it, so I get x plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. And so now I'm going to simplify this fraction over here on the right hand side. So that's x plus b over 2a equals plus or minus. So I'm going to split this radical up. So that's the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over the square root of 4a squared. And so this is x plus b over 2a equals plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over, and then the square root of 4a squared, well, the square root of 4 is 2, the square root of a squared is a. Okay. Now we just subtract b over 2a to both sides, and so that's going to leave me with x equals negative b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And then I combine the numerators by putting them over the common denominator. And that's all over 2a. So here's the quadratic formula. Okay. All right, so hopefully this helped. And, if you're taking a test, you forget the quadratic formula, you can derive it now. All right, thanks for watching. Give me a like, subscribe, share, and see you later.